I am Detective Superintendent Gillian Faulds and I have responsibility for domestic abuse for Police Scotland. Previous domestic abuse campaigns we've really focused on encouraging victims to come forward and report the abuse after it's happened, but with this campaign we're actually looking at the behaviour of young men and trying to get them to recognise that abuse at an early stage, and if they see it in themselves, to stop it and stop the abuse before it actually occurs. Police Scotland respond to over 60,000 domestic incidents every year, and over 80% of our domestic abuse incidents involves a female victim where there is a male perpetrator. We're hoping that this campaign will influence young men in their behaviours at a very early stage and ultimately stop them from becoming domestic abusers in the first place. Also, domestic abuse is a serious crime and it can have a long-lasting impact on victims, their families and their children. So Police Scotland is committed to tackling domestic abuse in all its forms. We realise that the domestic abuse can be gradual and it's not always obvious in a victim's relationship that they are a victim at an early stage, but what we will say is that there's only one person responsible for the abuse, and that's the abuser themselves. We're hoping that the public will share the campaign on their social media platforms, encourage that conversation, and if they feel confident then pick up the phone and report the abuse if they are a victim. You can certainly log on to our campaign website page where that will signpost you to further information and advice. Certainly seek out information from other partner agencies, Scottish Women's Aid, the Domestic Abuse Helpline, Abused Men in Scotland. There's so many avenues where you can seek support and help, and I would encourage anyone, if you're feeling that you're about to become a domestic abuser, please speak to someone immediately and stop that behaviour. I would encourage anyone who's a victim to contact Police Scotland through 101, or in the case of an emergency to actually dial 999. Our officers are specially trained to respond to domestic abuse. We will take your report seriously and it will be thoroughly investigated. There's no time limits on when a report can be made, so please don't hesitate. Pick up the phone and report the abuse. It is a crime.